Ajiri says, she said it many times in the past, that there's nothing that can be worked out. Let's get in and see how she can explain this to us, because I know that there are also many people that believe this. Please help us to understand what you mean.
I just believe in love. I believe in tolerance. I believe in kindness. I believe in having a change of heart. I believe in having a change of attitude. I believe people can be repentant. I believe people can have a change of behavior. It doesn't mean you should blindly stay in something that may be physically harmful to you. If there's physical violence, if there's the chance that you're going to lose your life. But if your life physically is not in danger, I believe you can work things out.
And I will not advise anyone that I love to think in that way, and I will share why in the course of the conversation. Tope, would you like to share your view?
Yeah, unfortunately, Ajuri, I tragically and unfortunately actually lost a relative.
Oh
Um,
dear, so sorry, so
yeah,
sorry.
and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm extremely passionate about this, and that I know that socially, culturally, religiously, we want people to stick together and to try
Please
to
mute your
work
mic, Ajiri.
out. But sometimes the problem again starts from day one. I mean, when I'm doing a series now that I call Unequal, you know, the Bible talks about, I know many of us here are Christians, but the Bible teaches us about unequal yokes, that we should not be unequally yoked to an unbeliever. And as a young girl, I used to feel God the way I do, that's not a Christian, I know. But as I've grown older, I've found that you find yourself in certain circumstances where you know you're unequally yoked as far as your values, your aspirations, your dreams, your education, financial standing. And if you are not really smart enough to know of these before you get into relationships, you find a lot of women suffer.
But let's go to something else that we don't talk about in our society. We don't realize that people have mental problems, sometimes brain wiring.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, brain wiring. Look, mental health is something that is very, very stigmatized in our part of the country. I mean, and the only people we refer to as mad are people we call vagrant psychotics. So that means they've lost touch with reality. They're on the streets. They're, eating from the garbage and just carrying tattered clothes and all. That's what we think mad is. But we now know that someone can be well dressed, well put together,
And a
look
good
extremely
mathematician
good. Can you hear me?
can be a good scientist, a good doctor.
Can be a fantastic scientist, can be a doctor like me, and the person is actually MAD in the true sense of the word. That's because mental health has a very broad spectrum. And one of the biggest one that I see, I mean, is a term that's used very loosely, is a personality disorder. And you have these sick people that don't know about relationships, that don't know how to manage relationships. And some people have actually postulated that these are individuals that physically they're fully grown, they're mature, they have the deep voice, they have their beard, and this can also be a woman, fully grown and mature, but their brain is still functioning. And you find that these people lack something called empathy. They can't relate to people. They don't understand what relationships are like. And when they don't have their way, remember, they grew up having their way. So even when they get into relationships and they cannot have their way, they throw a tantrum. They fight back by giving you the silent treatment. They're used to using people, so they are real users. But when they want something, they will do everything to get what they want. They will make sure that person has something to bring to the table. Make sure this is someone that will be open to orthodox treatment, for example, not someone that will say, oh, no, no, no.
Yes. Tackling things by patience and prayer is not going to be the solution for every situation. Drastic situations require drastic measures. If you really want to get this thing solved, we can't lie to ourselves. There is hard work for a lot of the things that we want, and we just have to do the necessary work. However ugly it might seem, that's what life is about. And that's where we now talk about relationships being hard. When we understand exactly what it is and we are ready, both of us are ready to tackle it. And then we can now say, okay, we're in this for the long haul. We're going to be patient and we're going to walk through this. That's where we can say that things can be resolved. Not when we're not even aware and we're fooling ourselves thinking that we can kneel down and pray about it or be patient. And if you're in a relationship and you're thinking that this person is mean, realize that sometimes they're not even aware of what they're doing because they have a condition that makes them unaware that their behavior is abnormal or unusual.